Hello everyone. So this is a video about ADHD, and before everyone bashes me and goes, "Oh my god, there's no such thing as ADHD. ADHD is just a label given to someone when they go to school and they can't concentrate. And just because they can't concentrate with the boring teacher, they get given a label." And yeah, I know. I understand. I've been in this field for quite a while now. And I've also been in the system my whole life. So ADHD is a label to give to someone with certain behaviors which we want to deal with, or given to someone with certain cognitive weaknesses which you want to address, such as sustained focus, such as selective focus, such as short-term memory. Also, I know we are technically talking about something which doesn't even exist, because think about it. Although I'm diagnosed with autism, although I'm diagnosed with ADHD, if you were to cut me open right now, you would not find a single cell of ADHD in me. So, without labeling, these are my top tools for you to implement into your daily life, or for someone you love to implement into their daily life if they display attention difficulties or impulsivity difficulties or behavioral issues. So tip number one, obviously diet, nutrition, exercise, but I would say the best exercise to give someone with ADHD would be squatting. So squat until you drop is tool number one. So before you have to sit down and do a task, I would say just do a set of squats until failure, and then sit down with your task. Squatting is a great way to sort of ground yourself, because someone with ADHD, they're really, in their head, very reactive, darting around. So before you have to sit down and do a work task, I would say squatting is a fantastic exercise. So it will ground you, it will calm you down. It will also give you a little space between stimulant and response. So in between stimulant and response, there is choice. So we get a bigger space gap in order to make better choices. My next tip is, so meditation, fine, but someone with ADHD, if they're beginning meditation, would literally go insane. So I would urge you to just practice sitting there, eyes closed, and whatever impulses come up, whatever urges there are to move, open your eyes, do something more interesting, sit there in stillness and breathe through them. Really be patient with yourself. Practice sitting there in stillness. Even if you start off with just 2 minutes, you can build it up to 4, then 8, till eventually you can have a practice whereby you're sitting still for 10 minutes a day. That would be amazing. Also, going beyond meditation, I would say candlelight staring. So actually, I would say nothing trumps meditation if you get the hang of it. But if not, get a candlelight out, stare at it, time yourself, or set a timer to 2 minutes. Whenever you look away, start again, start the 2 minutes again, until eventually you can, again, start with 2 minutes, double it, until eventually you can sit there, candlelight stare for 15 minutes. That'll be amazing. The reason this is a fantastic exercise is because, people with ADHD, even ASD, have a lot of rapid eye movement. So eyes are always sort of darting around. Also, where our eyes go is often where our focus goes. So if you're scattered and darting around all the time, basically you want to train yourself to be able to be there and concentrate on one thing at a time. So practice with your candlelight. I wouldn't say do this in the morning. There are a lot of other stuff I like to do in the morning. In the mornings, I like to do a bit of yoga, a bit of qigong, also other practices which I use to really sort of get out of my head and get into the world ready for action, because my diagnosis is ASD and ADHD. So autism basically means that I had it a lot more severe. So basically I spent a lot of my life like not even in the room. I was probably floating around the ether somewhere, but that's another story in itself. My next tip for ADHD would be the Wim Hof method or any other sort of breath work. So yeah, just do them. I would say just don't do them if you're pregnant or if you've just eaten. Also, I often use the Wim Hof method to fall asleep at night because, yeah, like I know the struggles with ADHD and ASD when it comes to sleep. So what I found really works is if you do the Wim Hof method in bed, I can almost promise you will knock out and doze off by the 8th set. So, or if you don't doze off and fall asleep, you will definitely have a lot more rest than you would have had if you were just lying there in bed anxious for the next day. I know the feeling of sort of being there, it's 3 a.m, you're still almost wide awake, you know your alarm clock's going to ring in 5 hours for you to go to work or go to school. So if you do breath work in bed or the Wim Hof method in bed, even if you don't fall asleep, you will at least be lying there in a state of bliss. Or you will be lying there, and when your alarm clock does eventually ring, even if you didn't get any sleep, you'll still feel like you've had a lot more rest than if you didn't do it. So yeah, definitely the Wim Hof method. You can also find another fantastic breathwork routine, which I did earlier, and I'll just put the link in the description. Okay, my last tip for ADHD would be, all right, we're probably the only people on the planet who can get away with this. So I would say sip on chamomile tea or have chamomile tea during the day. It has a number of health benefits, and also others around you will thank you for it. Long story short, we have this online summit called Natural Solutions for ADHD. Please join us there. It will be our honor to have you. I'll put the link in the description. Thank you so much.
5, 3, 9, 11, 10.
Yeah, so it's, if say I was at my grandma's or anything, she'd have because she'll ask me to go get some things. I could remember that without not really trying anymore. I don't even have to try, I can just remember.
It's time to get on my brain train.
With Shami? You ready?
Go. Yeah.
No worries, keep trying, we'll get it.
Alright.
Five, 6.
Let's start again.
3, yeah?
Go.
5, 6.
The things that I've seen that has improved at work is my ability to read. My reading speed has increased, and it's most likely due to the increase in my processing speed.
3, 4, 5, 8, 6, 9, 10, 11.
Actually, now I'm handling, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times as much work as I used to handle before training. And even then, it was really, for me, it was like a really stressful work. Work was like really, and now being able to juggle several things, several kind of work streams at once, and just calmly handling work has just been a huge benefit.
9,
10.
5,
Let's start again.
6,
10.
10, 5.
I think for me, it's particularly just being able to, I realize I voice my opinions a lot more, and it's something that I didn't expect will happen, and it means that generally with presentation I'm a lot more confident, and even like to some extent less impulsive with certain things that I would have. So it's like I'm being able to like sort of calm the storm and express my views a lot easier than I would have before training, and that was one thing that I wasn't expecting.